some level of issues between the African community and the Filipino community in Dubai. Is that just blown out of proportion because you've watched some of our episodes, or is that a reality in Dubai?
Trust me, you guys think Filipinos are bad. You've not met Indians.
Hi guys, welcome to Uganda. My name is Juanita Maya and this is the Repart podcast. Now we have a lovely lady in studio with us. Today I'll let you tell us who you are, madam.
I go by the names Jameela Semolinde. I prefer to go by the names Jameela Semolinde. Well, I don't have much to say about myself. I'm just me, basically, for now.
I like that. Yeah. I'll just tell the people, she did Miss Curvy with us when we were in the streets.
I'm a very big OG of the group, actually.
Yes, she is the original Uganda girl.
I had actually forgotten how I joined the group until O'Shea reminded me.
Yeah.
I actually joined through the link. I'm like,
okay. Wow.
Yeah, but that was a hard one to do. I can't even look at it myself. Right
Why?
now.
Sorry.
I'm like, what's that me? Like, oh.
Hard times.
Everyone is staring at you.
Yeah.
Everyone is moving down the street like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
They're shooting. Like, you know.
We'll let O'Shea tell you who he is before we take over the podcast.
So I'm O'Shea. The link to her video is probably somewhere here, but I don't want to say that it was a nice video. So Sacramento, California.
Okay.
African American. And by the way, shout out to this Sherry. This is good. VNA.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to them. Shout out to UBL. Should take this one.
So, Jamie really loves me on accident. She don't want to admit it. We kind of have like a love-hate friendship here going on for many years.
Trust me, a very big one.
But she loves me on accident. She just don't know it yet. So anyways.
You think so?
They got to stop hating on me. So we were talking, I think, on WhatsApp, and she said that she had been seeing our programs, and you're one of the first people that I know that left and went to Dubai that I knew.
Sure.
And you're the first person that I know that went there, and you are a practicing Muslim.
Yeah.
So that's a different experience. So what took you to Dubai?
It was basically for work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Uganda was tight. Uganda is tight, guys. You don't want to know about the whole. You have to hustle your way through. If you're not ready to do certain things, you really have to.
What certain things?
Oh, trust me. There's a lot of things people are doing out there.
Like what? Give us an example. One or two.
Girls know what I'm talking about.
See, I'm gonna say I didn't ask that. She asked that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You mean to say girls are sleeping around to get ahead in Uganda?
Trust me, the bigger percentage is actually doing that for a living. You can imagine. So if you're not ready to go down that road, you have to expand your brain and think of ways to survive. So that's the first thing that came to mind. I mean, shit was getting getting hard in Uganda. So I had to just opt for another option. And I had friends in Dubai. So I had to just do a bit of research and find out how things are done over there, how to get the visa, how to stay in the country and everything. So I talked to them. I actually did this in like a week. I mean, do you ever just wake up and you're tired? This is a decision I made in the shortest period of time.
Really?
Yes. In like 4 days, I was telling myself like, I'm going to leave Uganda. And I was going in like, because I thought about this like on Friday, and the next Friday I was out of the country.
Whoa.
Wow.
What were you doing in Uganda before you left to Dubai?
I was just like job hunting and all. I was working for some lady, I remember, like the cashier or something.
Okay.
But it was not really paying off how I would have wanted it to pay off.
Okay.
So I was just out there looking for greener pastures per se.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you had friends in Dubai.
Yeah, that's right.
So that helped you out. But we've interviewed somebody on the channel. One person was from Oman.
Mm-hmm.
Another lady, good friend of ours here to the company, Posha 256.
Yeah.
was living in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So did you also look at in your research? How did you feel about those other countries, Qatar?
Actually,
Oman?
my mind was just so focused on Dubai because I didn't know any other person in the other countries.
Okay.
So I was just way too focused on the whole Dubai concept, and I found it cheaper and had more information compared to the other countries. Like, people will be looking at US or Canada or I don't know.
Yeah.
But
and Dubai is a city, by the way. Someone will correct us in the comments. Dubai is a city, it's not a country. Okay, Dubai is a city.
Yeah, but I was looking at UAE as a country, but most especially Dubai as a city because I feel like that's where most of the people I knew were settling at that time.
How much did it cost you to get to Dubai?
I actually sat down and did like a rough estimate. I might have used around 6.5 to 7. Yes. But it was just because I think my visa cost around 1M at the point. It was 3 months visit visa because that's the longest they can give you.
Yeah.
So I got the 3 months visit visa and then I had to get my air ticket and then I just did the yellow fever. I think
you didn't go through a company.
No, I actually took myself. So I went by myself like a visitor.
Whoa.
Yes.
Scout and see.
So I didn't want to go through the whole being on an agency thing.
Yeah. So did you have a job before you left for Dubai?
No. So this is you trying to just go into a new environment and you don't know what to expect. You're just going to go in there like you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You're just going in with your fingers crossed and your prayers probably. Because someone is going to tell you, you're coming here, you're going to be like, as if you're in Uganda, you're going to sit and look for a job. And then there's, I think I left in 2019. Sorry, no. I think 3 years back, 2020. Yeah, around April. And then there's these stories of like, so right now they're not hiring. Trust me, guys. When I tell you these countries are about, everyone has their own luck in life. Because trust me, I found people without jobs. And then the first interview I did, I got the job.
Wow. Which job was that?
So, usually I think Dubai, the country, the people you find are what will give you your way forward.
Yes.
So if you find people doing sales jobs, let's say bankers or waitresses and waiters, that's the field you're gonna know because those are the type of CVs they'll be doing. So that's what you'll just grasp and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. So most of the people I found at that time were doing waiter, waitress, and sales kind of jobs. But I really didn't like doing the sales thing. I'm not so good at trying to convince people like, please buy this one, it does a very good job and all these things. I mean, come to the restaurant, eat your food and then go. That felt so easy for me to do.
Yeah.
So in my head I was like, so there are days where you're going to move around because there's a number of people in the country looking for jobs.
Yeah.
So you're going to sum up and then go to different malls and drop CVs to different companies or they'll give you emails to probably send your CVs online. So we just did a number of rounds to different malls, but just specifically in Dubai.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit far to actually go to Abu Dhabi. And if you're looking to go to a different city, you're actually looking to settle there. But Dubai being more populated, because Dubai is actually not the capital of the country, but it's more populated than Abu Dhabi. So I feel like it had more opportunities than the other cities. So it was a hunt. That's what I can call it. Because you just be there, you send, and then my friends used to tell me, you have to wake up early in the morning so that you send your CV before the HR gets into office so that they find your email there. So I just used to stay awake for the bigger part of the night and I'll end up sleeping like at midday. So that I find this morning time captured
to send
emails, send the CVs. But trust me, you will send 100 emails only to get one reply.
Whoa.
Trust me.
Yeah.
It's very tricky. It's not like once you get in, you're gonna get the job immediately.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So now, after which, going there, getting the job, let me just kind of switch the conversation because you are a practicing Muslim.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's different from the other ladies who were here who were Christian.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, once you got there, because Islam, I know I've heard Malcolm X talk about this. Once he left the Nation of Islam, he's saying, we went to Islam and he found a brotherhood of equality. It changed his mind with looking at, Sunni. I don't know if you're a Sunni Muslim. Are you Sunni Islam?
Oh, what?
There's Sunni is Sunni. There's two, right? There's
Yeah, I believe there's like
there's the one from Iran.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a split somewhere.
Yeah, Sunni and Shia. I don't know which one it is.
There's Shia and I think the other regular ones call themselves the regular ones.
Or are you Sunni? You like the?
I don't know. I don't go so deep.
So deep. Okay, got it. Got it.
Like
So,
Muslim.
how did you feel like when you were in Dubai? How were you treated? You feel like in the faith when you wanted to go to the mosque and things like that?
Actually, the mosques are open for any gender. So there's a difference between mosques in Dubai and mosques in Uganda.
Okay.
Because we had mosques in the mall. Every mall had mosques.
Mm-hmm.
But in Uganda, it's one whole place
Mm-hmm.
and they'll divide it. Like men will have their section and then at the back, there will be the
Women.
ladies. But in Dubai, one side is strictly for the men and the other side is for the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the mosques in Dubai or the UAE are strictly for men. So you'll find a whole entire mosque without a ladies section.
Really?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I was
As
thinking
per
they were
Islam,
inclusive.
ladies actually would rather pray from home. Yes.
Because ideally you're a housewife.
Exactly. Not exactly that, but I think Islam just made it easier for the ladies. So you don't have to go to the mosque whenever you need to pray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but for the men, it's a must.
Mm-hmm.
You have to walk to the nearest mosque whenever you need to pray. So that was the only different thing. And then you're living in Dubai, but it's like you're in Uganda because you are in a Ugandan environment.
Yeah.
So you don't really get to know much of the Dubai culture.
Why is that?
I mean, look at these people. They just come to the mall to do their business. And trust me, we obviously are just working for these people.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't expect us to actually be able to afford the places they live in.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely they are living in Dubai is beautiful itself, but there is a more beautiful Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the residences are. Yeah. That's where they're going to get to stay. So we also get our small affordable place where we can stay as Ugandans. So you find a place like, when you go to that street, that's where you'll find very many Ugandans because that's where they can afford to stay at that time. So you're in the UAE, but you're going to have access to Ugandan food, Ugandan anything you want to have.
Mm-hmm.
The few times you want to try the UAE culture is when you will go to the UAE places. But it's like being in Uganda because you're staying with Ugandans, you're eating Ugandan food, you're doing almost everything Ugandan. Because we have buses that are going to pick us from work back home. So it's like an everyday thing, you know?
Were you living in an internet city?
No, that's a few blocks from where I was staying. And I feel like Internet City is more of a work kind of environment.
Okay.
Not a residential kind of environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all the matoke you saw. Remember when you're boarding
Yeah,
and you kept
yeah.
seeing matoke going
So
to Dubai?
I was telling you that before we started.
Yeah.
But let me ask this before we to Joan. I was talking to Esther and she mentioned a few things like Filipinos and people like that. But she said that in the Ugandan community, she felt like there was a lot in that group. There was a lot of haters.
In the Ugandan group?
Like, there was not like a lot of support in the Ugandan community in Dubai, but she would sometimes even get help from sometimes even Filipinos or Nigerians. They had other communities that were a little bit more cohesive. Was that your experience also?
Actually, no.
Okay.
I think I was strictly around Ugandans most of the time.
Okay.
Because these were friends I met before they left the country.
Okay.
So we were friends before the whole Dubai thing. So it was just okay for us. Actually, I'm not one for the groups. So I'm gonna have like 1 or 2 friends around me and that's it. But then, of course, at work, you just can't avoid it. There's a group of Filipinos somewhere that's gonna be discussing something about you. And then I think the time I joined, that's the only time they were starting to hire Black people in my company. So the people that came on after me, because I think I was the first Black person to be employed in my company for that month.
Yeah.
So it felt a bit strange, but I had a very, very friendly manager. She just always made sure I felt at home.
What was she, Filipino?
Yeah.
Okay, you're talking about this is not uncommon. You know, I've heard Filipinos are very nice to Africans, and then there's some that were not nice.
Actually, not all of them
were nice.
I mean, there's some that will obviously be not so nice, but since it's work and you're supposed to be friendly to each other, they just have to adjust to that. But outside the whole work thing, everyone is just trying to mind their own business.
So the Filipinos are kind of like over there.
Exactly. So when we go for lunch, you're going to find like a group of Filipinos over there, and then you're just going to have to find, usually Africans used to mix a lot. Because I had like friends from Egypt, friends from Zimbabwe, so we could just find ourselves sitting together as well.
Egypt?
Yeah, we had Egyptian.
Were they like
Egyptian
Black?
friend.
Sorry,
no,
correct me if I'm wrong. Black Egyptians are like white
Egyptians? No, the white Egyptian. Actually, it was just one guy who was Egyptian, but he was just so friendly. We just had this whole African spirit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That's exciting. And so after you did the waitressing, what else did you do? Because I'm sure that wasn't the only thing.
No, that's the only thing I did. Because with Dubai, you're gonna have to sign a contract. So you can only be under one contract at one time. So you cannot do part-time here and a part-time somewhere. No, you can't side hustle anywhere because you're supposed to be under one person. So once I switch from the visit visa, I'm going to go under an employment visa. And the employment visa must indicate who I'm working for. Let's say I'm under Kinganda, and that's the only brand I can be under. I can't be going nowhere else. Unless I'm cancelling the contract with Kinganda, then I can move on to something else.
Yeah.
So it's just one contract at a time. And I was there for just like 3 years, I think.
Were the people nice to you? You know, sometimes people can be rude to...
in the beginning.
The waitresses?
No. Actually, I had a few breakdown moments. If I can remember. Because there's this guy, the Egyptian guy actually. Yeah. We started off on a very bad note, but we ended up like very good friends.
Okay.
He used to like teasing me around. Like, I think at that time I got into the country and then I was there. Because when you get the job, you're going to be sitting home for some time while they process your things. Because once they hire you, you're going to have to sit home and then they're going to switch your visa from visit visa to employment. So that takes some time as well. So I got comfortable and then I gained some weight. And then the Filipinos are small and they're very sizable and they move so quickly.
Yeah.
So he used to tell me, how are you even fat and doing these things? Like, I don't even know where they get these kind of people from.
Oh.
I'm like, really? Yeah. So when he finds you, let's say, work abroad is work. Yeah. You can't even try to lean against a wall and just
rest,
cross your arms. Like, it's not busy. So no, you're going to have to stand in the middle, like you're watching someone or something. Trust me, the restaurant could be empty, but they don't care. You're going to stand and like pay attention to, let's say, if it's one table eating or just a few people eating, you're just going to watch them like in case someone drops a spoon or someone needs something, you just have to be so alert. So when I just joined, I was just used to the whole Ugandan culture and then I'm just so easy, like,
chill.
You guys can, can fix whatever you need to fix. And then he's like, no, you don't need to work like that. So he used to come at me so harshly. And then I just had to go to my manager, and then when I'm trying to explain myself, I always just have a low moment. I mean, you're away from home. Some certain things just hit a little too hard. You're just like, oh, if I was home, maybe they wouldn't be treating me like this.
Yeah.
So it gets a bit so emotional at that moment. So when I'm trying to explain to her, like tears are trying to roll down my eyes, she's like, oh, okay. So she calls the other guy, like, you don't have to be talking to her like this. You can just show her how things are done. I mean, she's new to the whole system, so you can just show her. I mean, you've been here long enough. You don't have to just be teasing her through the whole. Yeah. So he's just like, I think people abroad actually, I don't know if it's people abroad or anyone, people are scared to see people cry. So when you cry, they just be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. They just want to kneel down and be like, sorry, oh, we messed up. We did something so bad. So they'll be nicer to you the next time.
Oh. Yeah. So you think he was nicer to you because you were crying in the end? You think he befriended you because?
I think he was trying to teach me things, but the hard way.
Okay.
Like, you're not supposed to be doing like that. You're supposed to be doing like this. Where are you even from? You know how your parent loves you, but just being tough on you. Like, I can't be soft, because I don't think Egyptians are actually soft people. They're just like tough love kind of people.
Yeah.
You know?
So let me talk about the Filipino thing, because almost everybody that's come on here has talked about some level of issues between the African community and the Filipino community in Dubai. Is that just blown out of proportion because you've watched some of our episodes, or is that a reality in Dubai?
I actually didn't have any issue with the Filipino community at large, because initially when I just joined the company, it was Filipinos. The bigger part of it was Filipinos. That's the time they started getting in black people, and everything was going well until they changed the management to Indian people. Trust me, you guys think Filipinos are bad. You've not met Indians. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or something, but the whole 2 years of the experience was going so well. Trust me, so well.
I could see on your Instagram.
Trust me.
Yeah, you was
living her best life.
You was rich.
It was very hard work.
I was hating on you.
It was paying off. Like, you get to work so hard, but you get to live so well. If you want to. I mean, I think people in Dubai some have very many responsibilities. They can't even balance the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you're in to have a good time and then do a few things for yourself, it's good. Like, you can afford to do it. But I think almost around when my contract was almost getting done, I think my manager had been laid off, and a few Filipino people in the company. So the Indians were like, initially the company is owned by Indians. So the top management had Indians, but they tried to lay off the Filipinos at that time and introduce more Indians. It's more like how we're living out our own and then giving other people the opportunities.
Yeah.
So I think they looked out for their own people more. So at this point, they were hiring Indians more.
Yeah.
And things got tight for blacks in the UAE at some point. I mean, there was a whole scenario of Nigerians fighting, and then you know how harsh they are. Yeah. So it's not just fighting of like, I'm gonna slap you and all.
Verbal
pangas and
what?
If you've been following up on the country, actually, there are a few scenarios.
Let's just rewind, because so they changed management for your company.
Yeah,
there
but
were issues between
like
Indians and Africans, but it was a general thing.
Exactly,
it wasn't just your company. Okay, continue.
But the whole black people thing was getting a bit difficult. I think there's a time when the UAE was deporting people out of its country. I don't know if you had.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, when they stopped, they said Ugandans should stop going.
And Nigerians too.
Yeah,
they stopped both of them.
Black people sleeping on the streets, and a lot of black people who did not have jobs. So it was getting so obvious, because you would find people just laying on the street.
But why do you think it was the blacks that were jobless and not anybody else?
I mean, in the UAE, if your visa is done, if you passed your visa time, you're going to be in a period of overstay, which you have to pay for.
Yeah.
And at this point, I feel like these people can't afford to do that. They don't have
a
a job.
Overstay.
They don't have no money from home to help them even leave the country.
Yeah.
So that's why if you are planning to travel, you need to have at least extra cash to be like, in case I don't get a job in this period of time, I need to have extra money to renew this visa in case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because just to avoid a scenario like that.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be thrown out. Because we used to stay like in shared apartments, of course, because trust me, living in Dubai is hella expensive.
The bed spaces.
You can't afford to just be having your own room and it's just for you.
Yeah.
You're going to find someone paying 1 million for just a single bed, which someone can have an apartment in Uganda. A bed without even like space for your feet. It's just the bed and a small curtain for you to just have that kind of privacy.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I want us to expound on the fact you said there were Africans fighting Indians with machete, like pangas and whatnot.
Yeah, it was not exactly that, but it's just like how people are fighting. And then I think Nigerians as people are just a bit
more aggressive.
Exactly. So there are just a few scenarios here and there. And then the country, I think they didn't distinguish who was who. So they didn't know who was Ugandan and who was Nigerian. They just took it as a black
Africans.
people thing.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know, oh, your name is this, so you're Ugandan, or you're this, you're Nigerian. So it just took the whole black people. And I think when the king passed away,
the king of?
Because they rule as per the king. I don't know if you heard about the king passing away.
No, in Dubai?
Yes, the rule of the UAE.
He passed away.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
What? This must have been like recently. You mean the guy that has his photo everywhere?
Yeah.
That guy passed away?
Yeah.
When?
Oh my God.
The one that married his cousin?
Sheikh Muhammad something?
Yeah.
He passed away.
Yeah, he did. And they actually...
The one that married he married his own cousin, right? This guy?
I'm not so sure of his background, but the king actually passed away and they had to put someone else in power. So a few things in the UAE changed.
Oh yeah, he died at the age of 73.
Are you serious?
I had no
Yes, he
idea.
did. And things got a bit tight in the UAE. So it's like someone has been watching things happening, but until they get into power, that's when they're like, okay, now we need to do this. We need to change and tighten up some few laws. So I think that's when things got real tight. So initially when I was getting into the country, I got my visa at 1M for 3 months.
Yeah.
Right now it's like 1.5 and it's just
They've
2
made it
months.
more expensive.
More expensive and the time is lesser
Yeah.
compared to what you had before.
Yeah.
So things changed. So you could find it so difficult. So that implies the employment visa as well went up. So it was going to be easy for you to hire an Indian because their visa rate is cheaper than you having a black.
Oh, a company can sponsor an Indian cheaply than an African.
Exactly.
Whoa. Why is that?
No, it's just because when the new ruler came in, he just came with the new policy. And then for some reason, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of black people being in the country. So once they did the deportation thing, they just made a few more things tight to have lesser black people within the country because the black people crime rate was also a bit high. So things were tight here and there. So at that time, companies were finding it really hard to hire black people because it was expensive. So there was no point in keeping a black person. So that's the time where my company chose to lay off black people.
Oh,
wait a minute. All the blacks are laid off?
Yeah. Actually, only one person stayed and we were like 9.
So you were one of the ones that got laid off?
Yeah.
Okay, let me kind of go back to this whole thing. So the blacks come in, the crime rate goes up.
Exactly.
In Dubai.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, I don't know. Because the people were claiming they weren't getting jobs.
Unemployment rate was high.
The unemployment rate was high and then they were being deported And of course, some people were deported, but some people stayed back in the country and they didn't have jobs. So of course, they're just doing nothing. Just roaming around the country and just doing nothing. Of course, there is a few policemen going around making rounds, like getting some people idle, but of course they'll ask you for your documents and stuff, and some people don't have any documentation on them, so we'll just drag them straight to prison.
Let me just ask you this, just as a woman that is from Uganda, and this is no offense, but Esther felt that a lot of the women from Uganda or Nigeria were looked at, in her own estimation, as being a woman of the night, prostitutes.
Sure.
How do you feel about that statement? Is that something that you feel like is true when it comes to African ladies in Dubai?
Is it something you've seen maybe or heard of?
Actually, yeah, I've not seen much,
okay,
but I've heard, because I think it depends on where you're staying and which places you go to and how you present yourself when you go to those places.
Okay.
Exactly. So I feel like it's so easy to identify who is doing what and
really
depending on where they go. Because if someone will see you at a specific beach in Dubai,
let's say Jumeirah, Dubai Marina.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Because that's a lot of, I knew those were Nigerian chicks when I was there.
You knew they were selling themselves, or you just?
For sure, those Nigerians.
Because of course, girls will go out.
They didn't have on that much either.
Wait, you could just see it and see that these girls are trying to sell themselves.
Exactly. So I think they just try to bring in like a few restrictions. You're supposed to have like an ID or something. Because the thing with Dubai beaches or these places are free. So there's no limit to who can go there and who can have what. Because it's just a whole huge place. You can just move in and out whenever you want. So these girls know where to go, which night. It's like in Uganda, how people know, oh, this night we're going to be at this club.
Yeah.
The other night we're going to be in this place. So, yeah. But it's just a specific place. You know, like where I was staying, there's more of the people doing work. Because it's more of a residential area.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then the other side is the happening side. It's where all the fun goes on. The nightlife, the day life, like, because Dubai is like a 24/7 country.
Yes.
Does not stop.
It's even more party focused in Kampala.
I think people in Dubai party more than they do in Kampala.
In Kampala?
Trust me.
Yeah.
I think Ugandans
because that's why people go for vacations to Dubai.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Of course there.
Dubai, even during day, I mean, there's a lot of pool parties.
Day parties.
Why
you didn't invite me? I was there. You didn't call me?
Shay. Stuff is for some other time.
She's like, do this on your own time. But do you think were you mistaken for being a prostitute? Sorry for being so blunt. Because you're just a black girl.
Actually, no. Because most of the time I was at work, guys. Work in the UAE.
You work.
Raining. I mean, I have only one day off. And then I'm working like a 12 hours shift. Trust me, by the time and then I only have 1 hour break. By the time I step out, it's like done. Because I'm going to make a line on a fast food place and it's going to be long. So by the time my order is back, my lunchtime is up. And I have to catch up with family. I have to catch up with friends. I have a lot to do in this short period of time. And once I'm off the shifts, I'm tired because my location was very busy. If you've been to Dubai, then you've seen the famous Burj Khalifa.
Yes.
And the dancing waters. This is where my location was at.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
So my place was full and crowded each and every time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the few times when Dubai is very hot. I think that's the only time it doesn't have very many guests. So that's the only time you would find us standing, and that's during the day. Because in the night, people are still going to come in and eat.
Yeah.
Because the show of the water is starting like at 6 o'clock.
And what about?
So from 6 o'clock until 11 o'clock, there's guests coming in and out.
Yeah.
So
what about during Ramadan?
I think it's actually busier in Ramadan.
People are eating during the day? I thought they're supposed to fast.
No, we don't. Not in the night.
Oh.
Because actually Dubai in Ramadan is closed. So I think the UAE, I'm not so sure about the other cities, but there is no outside dining. You can't be seen on the street eating something during Ramadan.
Oh, okay.
Even the foreigners?
Yeah.
Wow.
And when you enter the mall, there are all these rules on the wall.
Exactly.
Oh, I mean, I was there and I heard a call to prayer in the mall, but I didn't.
No, yeah, what you're supposed to wear.
There's a lot of restrictions since there's a mosque inside the mall. So there's a few restrictions to your dress code. Because we had people
coming tempting men during Ramadan.
Exactly. There's people coming from the beach in bikinis, especially in the Marina, because we had a branch at the Marina as well. But they just had to add a few regulations.
Yeah. Because
people will just walk from the beach into the mall. Yeah. And you know how white people are. So free and chill. But I feel like the people in the UAE are a bit reserved.
Yeah. Okay.
So they don't want to be showing so much skin because they're always putting on their hijab.
Yeah.
And the men are always putting on the white.
I don't know what they call. We call them kanzus. What do they call them? I wanted to ask, since you were laid off, how was that like? Did you decide, okay, let me leave the UAE and come back to Uganda, or let me find another job in Dubai?
I felt like staying back to find another job was going to be me wasting my money. So
what do you mean?
Because look, it's just like how you're gonna be in Uganda. You're done with school and then you just have to look for a job. You don't know when the job is gonna come. And at this time, things were really tight for Black people. If you were in Dubai at that time, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because things were really tight. The visa processing thing was a bit too tight as well. That's the time they lessened the period. So you're going to switch from the employment visa and then you're going to have to pay for yourself the visit visa.
Oh.
That's you spending money.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay rent. Let's say you've been...
And food is hella expensive in Dubai.
Exactly.
Those Carrefour minis?
Food is cheap, but living is really expensive.
Food is cheap? No, I went to a Carrefour mini. It was more expensive than it was here.
I think as a girl, she says it's cheap because she can cook for herself.
Exactly.
Oh, I like those American brands. So I was like, a box of Cheerios like $12.
And as just me, so I'm just gonna cook like a small portion of rice and like a small.
But you also have
salt.
You had some like Ugandan foods there also, right?
Yeah, but I'm just not so much a fan of Ugandan food.
Oh,
I just okay with the rice.
Yeah, okay, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just ask one last thing.
Yeah.
Since you've been back in Uganda, have you ever thought about, because we met a young lady yesterday. Shout out to my brother LAR. He was there. The young lady said she wants to go back to Qatar. She said she's gonna go back.
It's a barista.
So she can make like $2 million a month, which is about like $550, close to $600. Would you ever consider going back to the Middle East?
I mean, if I tell you I was considering that last week, you won't even believe.
Your decisions are made in a week.
Exactly. Because, guys, she was talking about 2M. Yeah. And then I was thinking about like, when I look at my pay slips and then they are showing like 5M, in my head I'm like, it was a huge loss. I cried when I lost this job. But when you believe at some point in your mind, it just like it happens for a reason. So you just have to let it go, because as living life and as working and as giving life to my people back here. So it was just doing it for me. I didn't have to rely on anyone to do this for me, do that for me. I could just wake up one day, I need to change my hair, I need to get this outfit. I remember I used to have Shane orders like every week.
You're a fashionista.
Yeah, I saw you out there rich.
Like,
you can reply to your DMs at that point.
Coming in every week, like, I would rather stay hungry but have a bucket
clothes. The girls get it.
You was rich. I saw you out there.
I was just trying to live life, Shay. Like,
but
I had to.
Like, do you feel like there's more opportunity in Uganda?
I don't think there's actually opportunities in Uganda that would pay someone that well. I mean, you would not work as hard because trust me, the work there is real hectic. I mean, hectic. Where you would actually, the times I used to leave work and I would call my mom crying. Yeah. Because it was too much.
I think, sorry, not to lessen your burden or something. I think waitressing in general is hard.
Exactly. So you guys, you can't imagine someone dropping the spoon while you're taking the spoon, the child is gonna drop the drink.
Oh,
and you have to do all this. And then I think my company, just to be specific, we just used to do everything by ourselves. We didn't have someone cleaning the trash. We didn't have someone doing all the other things. So you had to rush in for whatever came.
It's not like
as long as
it
it
has someone picking up trash.
As long as it's in your section, you just have to handle everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it got so hectic at some point. This guest is leaving and there's a hostess. She's just going to bring like, these ones will sit here. So you need to clear the table as soon as you can and put up a new setup for the new guests. It was a bit, especially around this time, November, December.
Oh, yeah.
You don't wish to be in Dubai.
Just last question.
Everywhere is packed.
Yeah.
Was there ever any businesses that you saw that had African managers? Like, you ever seen Ugandans as managers?
No, maybe supervisors. That's the most I've seen. But a manager, no. I don't think so. I feel like Filipinos are more made for that.
What do you mean they're made for that? Like they have
okay,
more
I don't know.
business.
There's a way these people are. If they are friendly, they are extremely friendly. So they know how to deal with people better than Africans would.
Yeah,
I mean, Africans have some bit of element of like, once they're in a higher position, they're not exactly nice.
Oh.
So these people knew how to deal with people, how to handle everyone in whichever section they're at. It's not about like I'm in a very higher rank than you, so I'm supposed to be acting like this or doing this like that. I feel like that's what Africans do when they're in a higher position. Like they want to be moving around like they own the company.
Yeah.
Forgetting they're also employees.
Oh, preach, mic drop.
That's the issue.
Okay.
You said it, not me.
Jamie, thank you so much. I'm sure you have a lot to say. We'll bring her back. Tell us in the comment section. Jamie, where can the people find you if they want to reach out to you?
My TikTok, my Instagram. I think that's it for now. My TikTok and my Instagram, because I've not used Facebook in a while. So it's Jameela, I think for both, yes. Or Semolinde J. I'm not so sure which one holds what, but Jameela.
We'll put it up here. No, we'll put it up there.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for hosting me.
I just wanted to ask, how were you dating in Dubai?
Actually, no.
Oh.
I was so work focused, and then I think I was living in people who I was always looking at like, we are earning the same salary, so there's nothing more you're gonna do that I can't afford.
Hold on.
So you couldn't date someone you were working with?
No, I mean we are taking the same bus to work. We
you're
are
in the same struggle. Why should you date?
Exactly. You're gonna have the same problems I'm gonna have. Like, I'm gonna ask you for $1 million, and then you're gonna be like, okay, let's wait until my salary for the month. So I was trying to look.
You didn't date in the 3 years, even outside your workplace?
Not really. I'm just being like, I'm being real though. I mean, someone out there will be like, no, she's lying. But for those who stayed with me, they knew. I was so like, if you came up to me, I had this thing of like, I'll give you my number, but you're gonna find yourself texting yourself. You didn't get tried to date like an Arab man or something? I think that's a bit hard, and you really had to be out there to find these people, because they're not gonna find you at work. They're not. So you just had to find a few days and go out there, and of which I'm not one who likes to move around alone. I think. Because it would be so obvious when you're just alone sitting somewhere grabbing a drink.
It's
gonna be like, she's here to be.
But that's how the girls are doing it.
Exactly.
That's how I do right here. I won't call the place.
In my mind, when I can afford to do everything, there is a way it gets so comfortable. I'm not gonna be.
I don't need no man.
Someone's control. Like, you need to do this. You need to do this. Like, hold up, I can get this by myself.
Okay, Miss Girl. Okay, thank you so much. I'll show you where can they find you.
No, don't find me.
Okay, well, you can find us you can send us an email at teamkenganda@gmail.com and follow us on all our social media pages at Kenganda Nation. Jamie, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for hosting.
See you guys next time.